People who lost their job due to this crisis. What is your story? I'm a housekeeper at a hotel. Last week they cut our hours from 40 to 32. I was just informed that tomorrow they are shutting down the hotel. Front desk, sales team, and bartenders are being laid off for the time being. Housekeeping will now work 24 hours a week for 2 weeks to deep clean the hotel, but who knows after that. Staff for hospitals is always needed. I'm a housekeeper in Maine. I found out Thursday that I'm being laid off indefinitely. Thursday I had a job, Friday I didn't. In 1 week, I lost both of my jobs. I worked at my university and a hotel, had to move out of my apartment, can't pay my $800 rent, landlord not helping, and had to switch to online learning as a music major. No way in hell will that work. It's 4:58 in the morning. I woke up from a nightmare and woke up in a nightmare. I haven't been laid off, but I answer for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline and we are having so many calls where someone is thinking about killing themselves because they were laid off. It's absolutely awful. I have no answers for these people and I wish I had the power to provide for them. Hey, I also answer calls for Lifeline and the Disaster and Distress Helpline. It's f***ing rough on the lines right now. Sending you lots of support and love. That's a hard job to begin with. Damn. Thanks for doing what you do. My husband got laid off on Tuesday. He works about 3 minutes down the road from my work. He showed up at my work with tears in his eyes, apologizing to me for not doing good enough to be kept. He works at a car dealership as an auto technician, where they let go of 4 techs that day cause of decreasing business. They are letting go of more people this Saturday. My brother is a mechanic there and is scared to lose his job too. They told my husband that when business picks back up, they might call and ask him to come work for them again. Thankfully, I work in the lab of a hospital, so my job is pretty secure. I keep telling my husband that we'll get through it, but I know it's taking a toll on him. I've read through dozens of these posts, and they're all heartbreaking. But we will all come out the other end for the better. I'm hoping for anyway. Having said that, as a former tech, I'd say good riddance to the industry. I know that sounds incredibly insensitive, because it was income, I know and I get it. But the auto industry, specifically dealerships for techs is a hellhole. And the audacity to say they might hire him back please. I feel for him, because I know that feeling of I wasn't good enough to keep around, but if he feels that much sorrow over it, means he put his heart into it. Someone like him needs to get into a career where he's valued, and that's certainly not tech life. Wishing the best for the both of you. Hoping someday to come back and read he's kicking ass at whatever he's doing. My experience is pretty unique. In a nutshell, my wife and I live in New Zealand and had planned a 2-year working visa in Toronto. We were supposed to leave in April, so we had obviously already handed in our notices of resignation to our bosses. Long story short, Canada shut its borders, and my boss has already hired my replacement. As a side note, they shut the borders on my birthday. Oh wow, that just ruined a whole 2-year plan. Good luck. Hey man. Just wanted to let you know I arrived in Toronto on that same 2-year visa from Scotland like 2.5 months ago. I got a job and everything set up and now it's all being thrown into disarray and I'm sort of stranded over here, at least until things calm down. I sort of wish I was in your shoes, minus the replacement stuff that sucks regardless. Stay strong and who knows, maybe see you out here at some point, if my lungs don't implode. Mate, life's a bastard sometimes. I definitely don't envy your predicament, but chin up and stay safe out there. If you are in the UK, the major supermarkets are on a recruitment drive with a fast turnaround of getting people in position. I know this isn't a story about losing a job, but hopefully this helps someone coming to this thread. I'm in the state of Ohio in the US, and I'm seeing a lot of those opportunities too. Texas too. The grocery stores are hiring. Yeah, I just got hired last week, but I think that my first workday isn't gonna happen. That sucks. Be strong buddy. I'm glad I'm still a student and was only working part-time at Starbucks. Honestly wouldn't be sure what to do if I'm working full-time and got laid off. I started 2 weeks ago as a software developer. I'm already working remotely, but since I don't have people nearby I have to rely on learning through video and text chat. Work's been hard. Construction. The whole construction site was laid off, and with the way things are going, the company owner thinks it'll be at least a year before they consider hiring me back. Started 3 months ago, and that's at least 50 other people affected, just for this site. The company had several other sites that they laid off employees to. I'm just lucky I'm still living with my parents, and dad works his online for the general public, so he's nice and busy. Edit. Sign everyone and their dog is asking. I'm in Canada, Alberta. The site I was on was shut down by the owner. Beyond that, IDK. And thanks to the bunch of you that offered to help/hire. I was kinda surprised at that. Wow, I wasn't expecting construction to be an industry hit this soon from this. All trades are going to be hit by this one way or another. I'm a plumber who mostly does residential service calls, and people haven't been calling unless they have an emergency that needs to be taken care of. Luckily I work for a family company, just myself, my dad and my brother, and we've just been referring potential customers to other businesses who are still working. My dad's in his 60s, and with the small amount of overhead that he has, he figures it's better to be safe for a couple weeks, since he knows all of us are going to be okay financially if we miss work for a couple weeks. I was laid off from my 5-year graphic design job, working for a screen printing and promotional products company. About half of our business involves schools, sports, and events. Obviously none of that is happening currently, so our business has stagnated. They are going to try to operate with a skeleton crew for the next couple months. The hope is to bring everyone back eventually, but I'm not optimistic. Solidarity. I'm a web developer, pretty much the same industry. Fabric decor, projection screens, giant shade structures, etc. I'm optimistic things will bounce back eventually, and I trust my CEO that I will be called back when that happens. He's always been extremely good to all of the employees, and we are good friends at this point, but I'm not optimistic that it'll happen within the next few months. Yeah, it's tough. The demand will definitely be back eventually, just waiting all this out will suck. If anything, it sounds like we both will have great references if something else surfaces. Good luck. I haven't lost my job, but my small software company instituted 30% pay cut across the board. They say it'll be reevaluated every month. Clients keep cancelling or postponing projects. So I'm good this month, but could easily lose it next month. I'm just happy they decided to cut pay instead of fire 30% of the workforce, so everyone can keep their health coverage. That, and I'm not sure I wouldn't have been part of that 30%. Having the same concerns here. Dev for a large software shop exclusively serving the auto sales industry. If we have to shelter in place for a few months and nobody buys cars, our cash flow is going to disappear. Lots of people out of work, thousands. Might be a good idea to look for remote work in the medical industry before every dev that's been laid off in April is competing. Also, remote work companies will be in high demand, providing tele-something services, and probably ISPs as their oversubscribed customer base suddenly using services 24/7 is going to overwhelm them. Maybe cloud/auto scaling experience would be good here. I'm a substitute teacher. If you are aware that most schools are closing, if they haven't already, then that should explain why all subs are now effectively unemployed. It's unlikely that schools will return during this situation. So yes, thousands of people are out of work just from that alone. Subs don't make salary, so any employee who is hourly or paid by day now needs to scramble. Edit. Because so many people are unsure whether they should file for unemployment or not, and are in a similar situation, being a substitute or a different employee that was hourly, or a position that was cut due to our current circumstances. Please do. You absolutely can and should file for unemployment. It may take some time with the influx of applications, but this situation is what that government service is for. I extend my best wishes to everyone and their friends and families. I hope you all stay healthy and hold on to hope. Be smart and safe. I'm too. The staffing service says they are working to see what kind of remote teaching opportunities there will be for us, which won't happen, I'm sure. I filed for unemployment, but half of my already measly part-time salary isn't going to help much. More so than money, I'm going to miss the kids so much. I sub at one school and know about 75% of the students very well. This whole situation is incredibly sad and lonely feeling. I'm a cyber school teacher and we aren't working right now, which is really confusing to me. I'm an independent contractor too, so I'm just not getting paid. I was laid off indefinitely from 2 different hourly paying line cooking jobs on Monday, 50 hours combined / week. I helped clean out one of the restaurants Wednesday. We discarded a lot of stuff. I helped clean out all of the coolers and throw away a lot of prepped food that people didn't / couldn't take home. Employees were encouraged to take what they wanted, produce, dairy, meat, etc. The place is almost completely empty. It's surreal. My spouse was laid off indefinitely Wednesday. She manages a restaurant and is salaried W/benefits, 50 HRS/ week. She was told that management will not be paid until the place reopens. Our family currently has no work or income. We have a young child. These are very uncertain times. Edit/update. We are healthy and staying happy. Lots of extra time to play with the kiddo. We have food, water and other saved resources. We are exploring unemployment insurance and a couple of other options. Thanks for all of the love. This story could be the same for millions right now. Take care of your family and neighbors. Try to spend and shop local. We get past this together. To the young child part, that happened to me after 9/11. WIC, Medicaid for the kid, unemployment benefits. Now is the time to pursue them all. They were a lifesaver for me. You've been paying into this your entire working career via unemployment insurance deductions, so don't feel guilty about using what's available. Just lost it about an hour ago. I'm a restaurant manager and they called me and told me to turn in my keys by the end of the day. I'm in quarantine and can't. They are sending me a RUPS box so I can send in my keys and told me to file for unemployment. Never expected this to happen to me. I'm in shock. IDK what I'm going to do. I wonder if it's temporary so you can get unemployment and then they'll hire you back later on. I know of a place that can't afford to stay open but is letting people pick if they want to be laid off or fired, hoping people can gain the unemployment better that way. I know Georgia has lifted a lot of the requirements and the businesses that are essentially firing the employees, even temporarily, file on behalf of the employees and they'll receive unemployment. No gaming the system or anything. If you lost your source of income due to the virus, you're guaranteed temporary unemployment. I just finished my training as a flight attendant for a major European airline. It's been a dream of mine, and I have been putting my love and energy into this training for the past months. I'm in Cancun right now, and it's bittersweet because it's absolutely beautiful here, but at the same time this was my last training flight. I'm now a fully trained flight attendant, and yet no one knows when me and my other new colleagues will actually be getting our work contract, since the airline industry is suffering a lot right now. I think I will cry when landing back in Frankfurt tonight, because I don't know when will be my next flight, but I will put on a brave face and genuine smile for our passengers. At least I will do my best. I work for an airline here in the US. I like your positive attitude. Hang in there and viel Glück. I was a bartender. The bars and restaurants were shut down. I was actually relieved because, not gonna lie, I was afraid of dealing with so many people and all the glasses. People would just kept coming to if the state hadn't shut us down. You're right. No doubt they would have kept coming in. Our governor just scolded the community because while the bars and restaurants were closed as of Monday, he stated that he didn't want social gatherings of more than 50 people. So of course, there is a park/playground area in a part of town that actually has a higher concentration of virus confirmations. And just yesterday all of these families took their kids to this park. People stated there were probably 200 plus cars in the parking lot and tons of children and adults hanging out together. The state police eventually shut it down. However, it caused the governor to now take more drastic actions and ended up closing other facilities that were still open to the public. And now, only groups of 10 or less allowed, and he's enforcing this rule by law now. He was visibly pissed. People being stupid are what's going to make this so much worse and last so much longer than it could have been.